In today's Great Escape, we're venturing into the Grand Canyon of the Adirondacks, Ausable Chasm. Welcome, fellow adventurers. Today we're going over Ausable Chasm, one of the top Adirondack tourist attractions that many travelers actually miss. It's a hidden gem nestled in the Adirondack region on the shores of Lake Champlain, straddling the New York and Vermont borders. It's also only 50 minutes from Lake Placid. Hidden gems are kind of my thing, so if you want more, be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss out. There are many trails and experiences at Ausable, but we did the classic tour option. This path was about 1.9 miles in length. It was a loop trail, but we took the trolley back to the start instead of walking. There was a little over 300 feet of elevation, and it took about 2 hours to complete. Admission to the chasm starts at around $20. Our tour package costs closer to $50 per person, but you'll see why that was in a bit. Let's get to it. Our tour started with a long descent down a giant set of stairs that gave a great view of the gorge. At the bottom of the stairs, we got to the chasm part that didn't have any railing, and it was here they made us put on helmets. That didn't last long, and it seemed a little unnecessary, but it was another cool photo opportunity and made us all feel like real adventurers, which was the point. Then we went up a few more stairs with some stops by our trail guide to point out important bits about the chasm. Our guides were all very knowledgeable and well prepared, so huge shout out to them. I think we were led by college students, probably either in like the biology or ecology fields, but it was apparent that they loved what they were doing and it wasn't just a summer job for them. We then got to what is probably my favorite part of the entire chasm, the suspension bridges. Anyway, I hope none of you are seriously claustrophobic for this part because the going is narrow. I also hope you're not afraid of heights because it's a fairly long way to look down. I think we crossed 2 suspension bridges. Not sure, but it was fantastic, and I would go again just for those. We then had a short hike winding through the chasm. There were several more waterfalls before we got to the Raft Tour. We waited in line for maybe about 40 minutes before getting a ride. It wasn't terribly busy the day we went, so it seemed to take a little longer than it should have. But you can see here that getting the rafts back to the loading area is a whole ordeal in its own. They have to lower them down one by one and keep people entertained. So they give everyone a paddle so you feel like you're doing something, but really you don't all need to paddle. The guide does that for you. It's just so everybody feels included and keeps them busy. The guide also points out details along the trip and gives a history of the place, so you're entertained while pretending to paddle. And just a pro tip, the raft will take on so many inches of water in order to float, and your shoes will become soaked, so bring another pair. Because of that, we wouldn't have been able to continue hiking if we had wanted, but it started to rain during our raft trip, so we took the trolley back to the visitor center and left the chasm for our hotel. We wrapped it up that night. We stayed in Keysville, New York. It was the nearest kind of associated town, and that's where our hotel was. Otherwise, Ausable Chasm does have a campground with cabins to rent. That would be the other best option, kind of just making your whole trip center around Ausable for your time there. So an important thing to know before you go, there's a boatload of other things to do other than what has been shown here. There's more than one experience offered, and there's many different things that you can do. And eventually we decided on the classic tour. That's what you just saw. It's a 2-part tour that is a complete end-to-end visit to the chasm that ends with a raft float and a trolley return. There are a ton of other options though. You could do a float tour, the premium package, go rock climbing or rappelling. Basically, whatever you want a taste of, they have it. It is all laid out on their website, but it's kind of hard to determine it all. Their website isn't the best, but you can get the gist. And that's the scoop on Ausable Chasm. Other than that, there's some waterfalls on the walk in from the parking lot to the visitor center for more photos. And there is plenty of free parking in the lot, so don't worry about that. Unless you go on a super busy day, in which case it might fill up. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Like and subscribe for more hidden gems in the area to never miss out. Until then, keep exploring, stay curious, and I'll catch you on the next Great Escape. You don't want to miss it.